Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the farm. So on today's video, we're going to be discussing how to properly put in a all-purpose pasture on your farm if you want to do broiler chickens or pasture pigs or stuff of that nature. So as you guys know, we have a farm with 10 acres. It was all woods. So there's quite a bit of stuff that had to go into being able to put pasture on this property. First, let's give some watermelon to the pigs. Hi, Peg Ace. That's some watermelon. While we're at it, let's give them some apples. So these pigs, I ended up putting their shade. Hi, Boogie. Under a big apple tree. So I just come out here. Hi, you want some lovins too? You want some lovins too? Who wants lovins? So I just kind of come out here and shake the tree. To drop some apples for them for a nice little treat. You guys want more? Here's some yummy apples, boys and girls. Piggies are looking so good. Is that good? You guys are louder than a toddler eating. When we bought this property, it was 10 acres of thick, dense woods. So this is what the property looked like everywhere. And over this year in 2024, we have completely cleared it out. Now, we also cleared out this section. We cleared out probably close to 4 acres worth of woods. This is the field that I've been working on because I wanted to at least get some pasture in. So it's been a lot of work. So I guess realistically, this video is more for people that don't have established pasture. Maybe you live on a bunch of woods. You're trying to figure out how you're going to go about doing this and getting a big pasture put in. It's a lot of work. Step one, you obviously have to clear all of the woods. There's multiple different ways to do this, and I really want to kind of show you guys the difference here. So this side, I had a dozer come and clear all the trees. Now, a dozer is very, very hard on the ground. So it completely destroyed this. I mean, roots everywhere and big dig tracks, because it wasn't a very big dozer trying to push these trees down and dig the roots out. So I was watching him and he had to keep digging and digging and digging to get these roots out. Well, it ended up causing a ton of damage to this field, to the soil. So I have spent pretty much all summer leveling it out. I had to rent a skid steer, which you guys probably already seen that episode of running that skid steer, and really work on this field to get it cleared out. Now this side over here, this is what I want to show you the difference so that you know if you're going to have a company come in and clear your land, you know the proper equipment to use. So this side, I had an excavator come in and clear all of this. Now what do you see the difference here? Look at how thick everything is in here. I mean, in sections over here, it's over my head. So this shows us with an excavator that has a bucket and a thumb, the ground damage is nowhere near the same as with a dozer. So this side, obviously I still have a lot of work to do over here. I've got 7 or 8 piles of huge trees, brush piles that I've got to get rid of. I'm planning on getting rid of all that this winter and burning it all down. So I'm letting it dry over the summer so that it burns a lot easier. I did burn 3 big piles over on the other side and I was able to get those going. I tried it over here and it just wasn't catching the same for some reason. I don't know if it's just because the way the dozer pushed all the piles together. So I guess that's one benefit of a dozer. The way it pushed all the big piles of trees together, they were all tightly packed in there, so there was no air gaps. The excavator, he's literally able to just push them over, grab it with his bucket and thumb, and place them on top of each other. So underneath of these piles, I had a bunch of air pockets that made it really difficult to get these piles to take off properly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these dry out really good, so that way when I light these piles up this winter, it really takes off and I can actually get these piles burned all the way down. So what you guys will be along for the ride. I'm sure I'll do a video on clearing all that, but I just really wanted to show the difference between before we jump into, you know, what I've done to the field, what I'm currently doing to it, because there's some other things that you're definitely going to want to know when you have a wooded pasture or you have wooded land that you want to clear in order to put your pasture in. So I think a lot of it is going to depend on what kind of trees you have. Do you have a bunch of hardwoods? Do you have a bunch of pine trees like I did? I don't think it really matters. You want to get your soil tested. So I picked 10 different spots all the way around the field, dug down about 10 to 15 inches, and grabbed a soil sample, brought it down to the Caledonia Mill here in Michigan, and they tested the soil for me. Well, my pH was not good at all. And I knew it probably wasn't going to be because pine trees took up majority of these woods. Well, pine trees really love to soak up all the nutrients out of the soil and leave you with really bad soil after you take those pine trees out. So I ended up getting 25 40-pound bags of lime from that mill. I spread that last night, and now I'm getting ready to go ahead and put pasture seed down. So I want to show you guys the other field that I've already done. I did not do soil samples in this field because there was no trees. So I had, you know, and it had a pretty nice various grasses before. So this field right here is all-purpose pasture seed. So you can see, like, we've got some clovers in here, some various types of grasses. So this is going to be really good for the chickens. And that's what I want throughout the entire pasture. So the proper way to do this, there's multiple different ways that you can do it. Realistically, the best way is to either rent equipment to be able to till up the ground and turn the soil. I did not end up plowing either one of these fields. I started to try and plow it, and I have a 2-bottom plow here for my tractor, but the problem was that I had so many big roots that it was actually catching, and it actually bent the back plow backwards, and I could not get that field to plow. So I said, you know what, let's just disc the crap out of it. I did rent the skid steer, and I ended up using a soil conditioner to help me push all the sticks and stuff off of it, and that worked out really well. It fluffed the soil up really nice. Then I was able to pull my disc through a whole bunch of times. I went back and forth twice. I went diagonally, and then I went down again to smooth it out. So now it's ready to accept the seed because the soil is nice and fluffed up, and it's actually going to be able to get underneath of the soil and germinate. One thing that you don't want to do is just throw a bunch of pasture seed down on the ground that's not worked, because it's not really going to do anything. You might get a little bit of germination, stuff that's able to sneak through the soil, but a lot of it's just going to sit on top and go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and get this field planted with the seed, and then we're going to Culta pack it, and I'll show you what a Culta packer is here shortly if you don't know what that is, and we'll flatten it all out and push that seed down into the ground. This is the seed that we're using. This is all-purpose pasture seed. We've got a bunch of different types of grasses and clover in here. So it came up really nice over in this field, so I'm excited to see, you know, this entire thing nice and beautifully green. And then I'm even more excited to see, after running the chickens on the pasture, how much greener it greens up, how much better that soil looks. And then the other side of it, we're going to be running Idaho pasture pigs out here, and I'm gonna have the chickens follow the pasture pigs through the paddock. So I don't know, I know they do it with cows. I haven't seen many do it with pigs. We do have a bunch of woods back there that I had cleared, or have my buddy come in with a forester mulcher and clear a path around the entire property. So I probably will put pigs back there because there's a lot of beautiful silvo pasture already back there. But then once this is grown up nice and the chickens have been on it, then I can start bringing pigs out onto this, because the plan is, like I've talked about multiple times, we're getting ready to rent 20 acres. Most of that is already pasture, and that's probably where the broiler chicken operation is going to move to. So then this is going to be primarily laying hens. Possibly I might move the laying hens out to the 20 acres, we'll see, and pasture pigs. So I really have come to really like pigs. I have a lot of enjoyment raising them. A lot of my customers have tasted pasture-raised pork, and they absolutely love it. And this is people that didn't really like pork, but decided after trying pasture-raised pork that they actually do really like it. So I want to continue that and continue scaling that up. We have 10 pigs right now. They're going to butcher in October, and then I've got 10 piglet Idaho pasture pigs coming, and a sow and a boar, so that we can raise our own piglets on the property. Now I'm going to do a whole separate video on Idaho pasture pigs, not in this one. Let's get this seed put in so Kevin stops rambling. Okay, so this is an Oliver Culta packer. Basically a really simple design. All it does is pack down the seed and you just roll it over top of it. Nice and simple. Basically what I'm gonna do is go straight up and down the field multiple times, then we'll do it diagonally and then backing down a couple more times. That way we're really packing that seed down nice and tight and trying to get that field as flat as we can. And then over time, you know, driving vehicles over it and running the animals over it, they'll trample it down and smooth it out real nice. So same thing I did over in this field, and it feels there's a little bit of high spots here and there, but you know, the rain and everything kind of flattened it out pretty nice. Like I said, as we bring animals over it, it's going to flatten it out even better. So I'm going to pop the drone up, show you guys kind of how this thing does, and get this done. There we have it. Whole lot of work this fall this field has been. Way more work than I was anticipating it to be, but that's okay, because farming is a journey. It is not something that's going to happen overnight, and I have to remember that and be okay with that, and just know that this stuff takes time and it's not going to happen overnight. Just like anything in life, especially starting a business, this stuff isn't going to happen overnight. I mean, just being able to look at where this farm has came since I first started this channel, when we hadn't had anything cleared. We started with 10 chickens, and now we've got 70 laying hens. We have 10 pigs, 12 more on the way. We're getting a farm store. Like, there's so many things that are going on that I'm super excited about the future for the farm, and I'm excited for you guys to be along for the journey. So lots more to come. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that little bell notification so you get notified when I put videos out. And probably on the next video, we're gonna head over to the new property, check that out, and we'll see how quickly this grows. So we'll see you on the next episode.